The British pound just hit its weakest point ever compared to the United States dollar.
It's because the English government just did the opposite of every other government in the world.
King Charles is basically getting zero honeymoon period right now.
Everyone's focus immediately pivoted from Buckingham Palace to their bank accounts, which are shrinking.
Because besties, to sprinkle on a little context here, the United Kingdom's inflation problem is significantly worse than what we've got over in the United States.
In the United States, we have 8% inflation, which is really bad. Theirs is 10% and growing.
Have you seen the fish and chips, Jack? It's like, is this haddock or is this tuna?
You just started paying for double-digit lattes here in the States.
You dropped $10.42 on an oat milk macchiato.
Well, if you live in London, you've been paying double-digit quid on double-digit lattes since Frappuccino season.
It is that bad, people.
It's expensive over there. They call it the cost of living crisis.
Well, inflation is a global problem.
And to kill it, countries are making less money available in the economy by raising interest rates, which will lower prices eventually.
Like we've said, raising interest rates is a central bank's way of telling you stop buying things.
Because your buying things is driving up prices.
But here's the funny thing going on across the pond.
The United Kingdom is doing the opposite of what we just described. They're doing the opposite of every other country to stop their inflation madness.
Yeah, to ease pain at the pump, the new Prime Minister, Liz Truss, just cut taxes by their most in 50 years.
Tax cuts are great politics. You know, like that's a universal thing. People love having more money in their wallets and in their bank accounts. So we understand the move.
But that move just drop-kicked England's economy like a Jason Statham pub fighting scene.
Yeah, because cutting taxes is probably going to make England's inflation problem a lot worse.
Yeah, Jack, remember we were just saying the central banks want you to stop spending money.
Well, tax cuts are like free money for everyone, which screams to the public, spend more money, which is going to push prices up even more.
And here's the wildest part. The Prime Minister's plan to cut taxes to stop inflation just backfired.
Wall Street hates the idea. The value of Britain's currency, the British pound, has plummeted in response.
Jack, remember when we were in college and you traveled to London? It was not pretty.
One British pound cost $2 back then.
But Jack, the pound is so weak right now. Where is it today?
It's almost at parity with the US dollar for the first time ever.
£1, $1. So Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over in the United Kingdom?
The UK is acting like an emerging market, so investors are treating it like one.
Yetis, you want to hear about another country trying to fix inflation just like Britain the opposite way?
Look at Turkey.
Turkey also just made an opposite move, cutting interest rates, and now inflation there has surged to a crippling 80%.
So investors are starting to treat the United Kingdom as if it were Turkey, an emerging economy, and you can see that treatment in the bond market.
Exactly, Jack, because to borrow money, Britain now must pay more interest than Italy or Greece would pay to borrow money.
Britain must pay more than Italy or Greece. Italy or Greece?
Italy or Greece.
Historically, countries more focused on paying for Negronis than paying back their government IOUs.
Ipso facto, the United Kingdom is acting like an emerging market with their economic policy.
So Wall Street is treating the United Kingdom like an emerging market.
Thanks for jumping in T-Boy style, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more pop biz that you need.